Today's video is going to be all about fragrances that are perfect for party season. So if you like the sound of that, then please keep on watching. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it's the first time you're visiting. My name is Hayley and I review fragrances. So as I mentioned in the intro, today's video is going to be all about fragrances that I feel are perfect for party season or just parties in general. And they're kind of like party girl vibes. They're fun, they're playful, they're quite attractive, they will turn heads. It's that type of vibe. And I feel like I've got a little bit of a theme going here with the list that I have curated. So this is a bit of a fun video. So let's just jump straight into the first fragrance. The first fragrance is Pink Boa by Stephane Humbert Lucas, and this is one of the newer fragrances within my collection, but I have had this one for about 4, maybe 5 months now, and I feel like this is totally appropriate for party vibes, party season. It's fun, it's lively, and it's a little bit different from the other fragrances that are normally within the Stephane Humbert Lucas collection. This one is definitely a lot more easygoing, it's very playful, it's sweet, it's kind of boozy, fruity, fun, and it smells like a cocktail to me. And when I think about fragrances that I would wear out to a party, I think of fun, kind of boozy, fruity, cocktail, sweet scents. So Pink Boa is absolutely perfect for that vibe, because to me, this is kind of a fruity champagne cocktail. Now it does have a vodka note in here, but I perceive there to be almost more of a fruity champagne vibe. Yeah, it's very fizzy, almost like a fizzy, fruity bath bomb. You know that kind of sensation when you smell a bath bomb and you get that fizziness? I'm not saying this smells like a bath bomb, but it has that kind of bubbly vibe to it. I'm getting mostly raspberries / red berries, a very boozy champagne note, but just for reference, it's actually a vodka note, as I already mentioned. It's a little bit musky, it's definitely sweet. And I just think it's very, very different for the house. And I think it is perfect to wear out for brunch, for a girls' night out, for a party, that type of vibe. I would personally only really wear this fragrance for those fun type of nights out, something very light-hearted. It's not very formal at all. It has really good projection and it will definitely turn some heads because, like I said, it's just a very likable scent profile and it's not challenging at all. So if you like the sound of something that's very fruity, sweet, a little bit musky, powdery, but has that boozy quality to it. So as I mentioned, a cocktail. I would definitely recommend sampling Pink Boa. This used to be an exclusive, it's not anymore, so you can pick this up on Stephane Humbert Lucas Direct, and I believe it is exclusive to Lucky Scent too, but I will link it down below. Next up, we have Pink Me Up from Atelier Des Ors, and this is kind of in the same category as the previous fragrance, whereas it's a fun, lively, boozy type of cocktail fragrance. I would say this one is a little bit more boozy. It smells a little bit more elevated in my opinion too. Again, this features a very sparkling and bubbly champagne note. Very classy in my opinion, but this time I get more of a Cœur Royal. And you get this kind of dense, syrupy, it could be blackcurrant, it could be blackberry, however you perceive it. But I do really pick up a Cœur Royal when I smell this one. And it dries down to be this very fun musk. The sweetness kind of dies down a little bit. It's not too fun and lively where I would only wear this out to a party. I do feel like this is a good all year round scent. And to me, it's just a very vivacious, lively, pretty, playful, head-turning, feminine scent, and I think it is absolutely perfect for party season. It's just giving me all of the party vibes, so yeah, I would highly recommend Pink Me Up. Next up is Myrica Muse by Miller Harris, and this is another fruity cocktail fragrance, very different from Pink Me Up and Pink Boa. This one actually features a rum note, and again, to me, this smells like some type of fruity cocktail, but this time it is a cocktail. It's not sparkling and bubbly, although I could imagine there being a little bit of sparkling wine or champagne in here. And this time you have bayberry, you have strawberry. It's definitely boozy. It's got a slight pink pepper touch to it. There's some musk and vanilla in the base. It's a little bit ambery too. I do pick out a little bit of patchouli. I would say this one has a little bit more depth than the previous two fragrances. I think this is such an underrated fragrance from Miller Harris, truly. I don't see enough people talking about Myrica Muse. I believe it launched last year or the year before, and as soon as I saw the notes being released, I knew I wanted to buy this fragrance. I truly think it's such a fun, playful, party vibe fragrance. You could also wear this out to a girls' brunch, and to be fair, I would wear this one all year round too, but I do think it is most suitable for parties just because of that boozy, fruity quality. You're gonna smell sweet, you're definitely gonna turn heads again, and for me, a party fragrance is quite fun. It's a little bit interesting. It's kind of attractive and head turning. Each to their own though. I know lots of people will interpret party fragrances very differently, and I would love to hear your take on it too. And I would love to know what fragrances you would wear if you were going to a party. And I also just want to add to this, I'm not really a party person or a party girl. I don't go to many at all. I don't go clubbing. I don't really like even going to bars, going out for drinks. It's just not my vibe. I'm more of a stay-at-home girl or go out for a nice dinner. But if I were going to a party, a bar, that type of vibe, I would pick a fragrance like Myrica Muse just because I think it suits the vibes so well. And it's also fun, uplifting, and attractive. So for that vibe, I think Myrica Muse is perfect. Next up is Sangria and Saffron by Michael Malul. And another boozy fragrance, but this time it is centered around the drink sangria. I'm sure many of you have tried sangria. You can also get non-alcoholic sangria, but sangria is typically made up of wine and lots of fruits, and it's such a delicious drink. I used to drink it years ago, but I'm not a big drinker anymore. I don't really drink at all, to be quite honest with you, but I do love the smell of this. You get the vibes of sangria. Now, in the notes, it doesn't actually list any boozy notes, not as far as I'm aware from the notes that I've read, but you do pick up that type of vibe. You get lots of fruits in here. It's got berries, it's got citrus, there's definitely a prominent tangerine note. I'm getting raspberry. There's a little bit of green apple. It's slightly floral too. I've got a very light rose. It's kind of musky too. And then you have a big dose of that saffron. And I just think this is such a unique fragrance, very different from anything else I have in my collection. Again, it's another really fun fragrance that I feel suits party season, of course. I've put it in this video, but I would also wear this one out to dinner. I would wear it year round. It's not too sweet that I can't wear it in the spring and the summer, but it does have some depth to it too. It is a little bit floral. There's some ambergris in the base, which kind of gives it a slight saltiness. And yeah, this is definitely complex, quite unique, but at the same time very likable, sweet, musky, fruity. And it's giving off what the name suggests, sangria and saffron. So this is a very underrated brand, at least here on YouTube. So I wanted to bring it to your attention. I have a few others from the house that I can't wait to share with you. But this is such a fun fragrance, which also adds something unique to my collection too. Next up, we have another boozy fragrance, but with a twist. And this one is the collaboration between Navitus and Karina from Dear Makeup Diary here on YouTube. And this one is very new to my collection. So this is a little bit more of a first impressions, but I felt like this one really suited the list. It's a very fun, uplifting party fragrance, but this one is quite complex and also quite unique compared to some of the other fragrances within this list. It has quite a hefty backbone. I wouldn't necessarily say it's as playful and as lively as the other fragrances within this list, but this one has more of a sexy, alluring type of vibe to it. People will wonder what you're wearing. They will likely ask you what you're wearing just because this has such a unique touch. Now, the notes that are most prominent to me in the opening is a huge dose of honey, lots and lots of it, and I adore honey in fragrances. And it smells like an organic Manuka honey to my nose at the very least. And then you mix in a big dose of rum. So think honeyed rum. Wow, delicious. There's also some toffee in here. There's some tonka bean. You've got dark chocolate. You've got some caramel. There's some bite from some ginger. And then up top, you have dried fruits and apricot. And to me, I actually don't have anything that's similar in my collection. In a similar vibe, but not similar in terms of the scent profile exactly. Yeah, the honey is super, super prominent, and I adore honey, and I wish I had more fragrances that had a prominent note like this. I really love Back to Black by Kilian just because of the prominent honey note, and it's given off that same type of honey note within that, but this one is quite different. I would also say this is very appropriate for the holiday season in general. It's very fall winter appropriate too. So this would make a really fantastic scent for holiday parties, whether or not you celebrate Christmas or maybe other holidays in general over this time of the year. So I will review this one in more detail in a video to come, but it's another sweet, boozy, fun fragrance. But this time it's a little bit more complex. It's definitely got more of a backbone, and people are just going to be intrigued by what you are wearing. Next up, we have a fragrance that is not boozy. Yay, we're mixing it up a little bit. And this one is Duchessa from Gritti. I'm sure many of you know about this one already. I was so late to the game on this, and I don't know if you're a little bit similar to me, but sometimes when things are super hyped up, I kind of avoid them, not just with fragrances, but I'm the same with TV shows, sometimes movies. And I remember when Game of Thrones was really hyped up and it took me so long to watch it. I don't know why I do that. And normally I'm not a huge fan of cherry in fragrances. However, I will say that has changed recently, and Duchessa is a cherry fragrance that is done right. This is very sexy. I think it's very head turning. This is a dark cherry to my nose. It's also got saffron in here. I would mostly only wear this in the evenings or in the fall and the winter, and I think it would make a fantastic party scent too. There's some cloves in here which adds to the spicy saffron. You've got a little bit of chocolate and some powdery iris, and I kind of feel that within the composition, but I don't necessarily detect them as individual notes. And then it's a little bit musky, but mostly it's a sweet and sour dark cherry with some brown sugar and lots of saffron. Extremely sexy, very fun for party season. I actually feel like it's holiday season appropriate in general. Yeah, I love how much saffron's in here. I do detect the cloves. I get a rich dark cherry, almost the type that you have in those boozy cherry liqueur chocolates. Yeah, Duchessa is perfect for holiday season. I slept on it for far too long. I'd highly recommend getting a sample of this one if you've not tried it already, but this one is such a fun fragrance for party season. And last, but by no means least, we have Rouge Smoking by BDK. And to me, this is almost the ultimate party season fragrance. It is so cozy and comforting, which sounds really weird to describe it like that, but I'm also suggesting it as a party fragrance. And I feel like it's the type of scent that's definitely going to draw someone in closer, and they're going to want to stay close to you in general throughout the night. Very head turning, very attractive. It's sweet, it's playful and powdery, and it has this kind of Dr. Pepper vibe to it, cherry cola vibe to it, which are things that I associate with holiday season in general and parties. I don't quite know why. And again, this features cherry. It has vanilla in here. It has a little bit of tonka bean. And if you've ever smelt Velvet Tonka by BDK, I definitely see some similarities between the two fragrances, but this is sweeter. It's a little bit lighter. You've also got the vanilla, and then there is the cherry note. And this cherry is more of a fun cherry. It's not super dark, boozy, thick. This is a light and uplifting cherry, in my opinion. It projects really, really well, but I would say the longevity isn't the best on Rouge Smoking. I only get up to a maximum of 6 hours. But this is a fragrance that my husband really, really loves. We used to have a 10 ml travel size of this before I decided to buy a full-size bottle. I kind of ummed and ahed about it for quite some time, but my husband really, really likes it. So I bought this more for him, but we both wear this one. It's a very, very fun fragrance, as I've already mentioned. and it is perfect to wear to a party. It's definitely going to create an amazing scent bubble around you, and you're also going to smell amazing wearing Rouge Smoking. So those were all of the fragrances that I wanted to recommend today for the party season, for that party girl kind of vibes. Please do let me know if you've tried any of these and also what you think about them. But what I want to know is, what fragrances would you reach for if you were going to a party, whether it be more of a formal party or maybe you were going out to a bar, a nightclub. I would love to know what fragrance you would pick, or what fragrances you would pick for that type of occasion. But thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure as always. I hope to see you in a future video to come. Thank you so much, and goodbye.